Hello, travelers. Welcome to Healing with Traveling Treasures. I am your host, Tori, and today I have a very special guest, my very good friend, Brittany. She and we have worked together and we just have become the best of friends over the years. Hi, Brittany. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hello, Miss Tori. Thank you for having me.
Of course. I'm so excited about our talk today. We're going to talk about our experiences together. One of which is we worked in the U.S. Virgin Islands together, and it was ups and downs and crazies and fun, and there was a lot.
Yeah, I will
but
probably never do another travel assignment again, but like top tier. Loved it. So happy you came to do that with me.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh my gosh, it was so special that we got to do it together.
hmm Yeah,
You want to? Sorry.
I remember the night that I called you and I was like, "Hey, do you want to move to this island with me for dialysis?" And I had called a couple nurses that I knew already and they were like, that's crazy. No. And then you're like, "Yeah, when?" And I'm like, there's a lot of reasons that this lady is my best friend, but this answer is really one of them. And then all of a sudden you were just there with a sparkly bottle of champagne and we were toasting to like our new lives. It was just, that was one of my favorite memories.
Yes, me too. I remember because I had when you called me, I was just kind of floored. I was like not expecting that, but I was like, you know what? Hell yeah, I do.
Right?
I was, it was, you know, in the middle of COVID, and I had been working at the hospital, and it was so crazy, and things had been slowing down at that point. But it was still pretty crazy, and I was like, "Yeah, I can use a move.
Right.
Let's do this."
Yeah, I remember it was, yeah, definitely during COVID times, but like after the first wave, and I was sitting at
Mhm.
this computer next to a doctor and I was charting. I got the call from my friend Ginger, so I went into the, I don't know, supply room or something and like took the call and then came back out and sat at the computer and I'm like typing away and he's like, I was like, if you got an opportunity to move to the Virgin Islands like right now and they wanted you to go put in your 2 weeks notice right now and go move to the Virgin Islands and work, what would you do? And he just like started scooting my chair out. He's like, go. He's like, go. I would go, but I have a wife and I have kids, so I can't. So like, you should go. And I literally went into the office of my manager and quit right then, put in my 2 weeks notice.
Nice.
And I didn't even
Nice.
know where I was going. I didn't know what the Virgin Islands were. I didn't know where St. Thomas was. I didn't know who
Yeah.
this man were we were gonna go work for. I just went for it, and I I remember sitting in the airport. I put in my phone,
Hmm.
you know, blah blah blah, kidney center, and it says no location found. And I was like, oh great. And I'm like about to get on my flight, and I'm like super great. And I remember getting there, and it was like a foreign country, but not a foreign country. Luckily,
Hmm.
everyone spoke English, so I thought, but the Caribbean version of English is very broken. So that
Yeah.
was interesting too. But man, I'm so grateful that we are people that just will take that plunge and do something like that because
Oh,
I
heck
would
yeah.
say nobody gets experiences like that, just saying yes and just going.
Yeah.
Like so many people are afraid to do that, and it's just so
Yeah.
magical.
I am, you know what? Even through all the hard times that we had there, I would not change it for the world. Like
Same.
I am so grateful for that opportunity to have gone over there and experienced it, you know what I mean? And to
hmm
have been able to experience it with such a good friend was, I mean, that just made it 100 times even better,
I
you
know. And then
know?
we had the sweetest patients ever, and they loved us so much after they got to know us.
Yeah.
So doing a hard thing isn't the hardest when you have those kind of people you're caring for, and
Mhm.
just like kind
Yeah.
of bringing us into their community and like welcoming
Mhm.
us with open arms, which they don't do for a lot
Mhm.
of white people, was really
Right.
awesome.
Yeah.
hmm
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I miss those patients so much, like all the time. I'm always thinking about them. And I have such a terrible memory, especially now after all my medications and stuff. So I cannot remember most of their names, but I remember their faces and I remember their personalities and I remember, so much about them, and I just miss them so much.
I know, me
Um,
too. Yeah,
they
when I
were
went down there
amazing.
recently, I was reminiscing on like our favorite patients and like, that one day when we closed the dialysis center and the one patient came and we were all three just like hanging out front and he's like, "What's gonna happen?" And we're like, "I don't know." He's like, "Should we be doing something?" We're like, "I don't know." And we just all three sat out there under the trees like for hours, like,
Yeah. That was a pretty decent day, though. I mean, that was a pretty good day because we got to talk to him for so long,
mm-hmm.
and I just really enjoyed spending that outside the dialysis time with him,
Me too.
because he was such a nice guy. He was
Yeah.
such a sweetheart.
And I know all the
And
patients said to us, like, please don't forget us. Like, please don't just leave us
yeah.
here with this absolutely horrible doctor. Like, tell people
Mhm.
about us, tell our story. So that's why I was so
Mhm.
excited too when you said to come on here because, it was a bit traumatic at the end. And I left, like,
Mhm.
not on good terms with the doctor. I'm not sure that
Yeah,
anyone
same.
is ever on good terms with that doctor because he's a
Yeah.
terrorist.
Yeah.
But leaving those people and them saying like, please don't leave us here, please don't leave him with us, please don't like forget about us, like tell the world our story. So there are
Mhm.
amazing, absolutely amazing people down in the Virgin Islands that can only
And
get
they're so
dialysis.
resilient, like to
Yeah.
be fighting for their lives the way that they had to do every single day, and it's so different what they had to, or endure under that doctor
Hmm.
is so different than any other dialysis situation,
Right. I've never
because in other
experienced that.
dialysis places the doctor is on it, they want to help them feel as good as they can,
Right. They
and
want to
this
help the
doctor was
patient
like
get
the
better,
opposite.
not just collect a check.
Yeah. Yeah. And this doctor was the opposite. I mean, I was floored when
Me
I got
too.
there and heard some of the things that he was doing and not doing. And
Yeah.
I mean, I remember when there was one patient in particular. I mean, there was more than one, but there was one in particular that, because you and I had been in dialysis for a while. I had been doing
Mhm.
dialysis at that point for, I can't remember, at least 7 or 8 years.
Yeah.
Um, Maybe longer, actually, because yeah, it was definitely longer because I think I had done it for 14 years altogether.
Hmm.
And and that was, I think that was my last dialysis job, was that. So yeah, I had been doing dialysis for like 14 years at that point, 13, 14 years. And so you and I, we both knew how to make them feel better. We knew how to adjust their dry weight, and we knew how to, manage their medications, and all of those types of things. And I remember this one patient, we were trying to adjust the dry weight so that he could feel better. And he did. We were able to get his dry weight down. He was able to, and he started feeling so much better, and he thanked us, and his parents were
Hmm.
thankful to us. And you know exactly who I'm talking about,
Oh
don't you?
yeah. I remember he walked in without his cane. He was,
Yeah.
let's say, in his 20s or 30s on
Yeah.
oxygen with a cane.
Mhm.
That tells you how
Mhm.
good this doctor is taking care of his patients.
Mhm.
Yeah, we got him to where he was walking in without a cane. He was breathing without
Mhm.
oxygen. He was feeling phenomenal, so much to the point that his parents came in to thank us. That said, like,
Yeah.
that you saved my son. Like, when we started going to
Yeah.
dialysis here, we thought this is going to make everything better. And then he just got
Mhm.
worse and worse and worse and worse.
Mhm.
And that's what the difference of a caring practitioner versus not. And
Mhm.
I remember we
Yeah.
were going through literal hell. And then when he
Mhm.
came and his parents came to say that, we were just like, okay, we could take a breath of fresh air. People see
This
us.
is why we're doing this job.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. People
Those
actually
times,
acknowledge that
those
we're doing amazing. Just not the
yeah.
man who was supposed to acknowledge that we were doing amazing
Right.
for him.
Well, but what broke my heart was how that doctor came in afterwards, after all of that. He came in and reprimanded us for doing that.
Hmm.
And he put his dry weight back to what it had been before and refused to allow us to dialyze him correctly.
And you remember
Do you
why,
remember that?
right?
Huh? What?
You remember why, right?
What was the reason?
So for Medicaid, or no, I'm sorry, Medicare, which I'm assuming most
Medicare.
of these patients were on,
That's
if
right.
you have a big jump in the dry weight, That doesn't
Mm-hmm.
look good. So even if
Mm-hmm.
your dry weight's not changing a lot, but your patient's sick as hell, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But if you change
Right.
the dry weight, they're like, oh, why did they have to do that substantial change? Because he hasn't been getting any good treatment. But they don't see that.
Right.
They just pay less
Mm-hmm.
money to Dr.
Yeah.
Gardner. So less money in his pocket. He doesn't
Mm-hmm.
like that. Even though the patient's
Right.
feeling better, the family's so happy. We've got him off of oxygen, walking on his own because the
Mm-hmm.
numbers don't put more money in Dr. Gardner's pocket. He quashed that.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
I'm going to say his
Mm-hmm.
name freely on here because I've gone to
Mm-hmm.
multiple lawyers in the Virgin Islands,
Mm-hmm.
multiple attorneys, and he has them all in his
Mm-hmm.
pocket. They say, oh, Dr.
Yeah.
Gardner, I can't talk to you about him. He's on retainer. So every single
Right.
island in the Virgin Islands, this sick man holds
Mm-hmm.
retainers with these attorneys so he cannot be touched because he's already been
Mm-hmm.
prosecuted, found guilty, and had his license removed in the United States in
In
multiple
in the
states,
States,
including
yeah.
Tennessee and Florida.
Mhm.
But in the Virgin
Yep.
Islands, cash is king.
Yep.
So I was so happy to find out that Dr. Gardner is not running the Caribbean Kidney
Mm-hmm.
Center anymore. Unfortunately for the patients, most of them don't go there anymore. I hope wherever they
Right.
are, they're getting amazing care. And what we
Mm-hmm.
told them is we will not forget about them. We will talk about their names. We will talk about this horrible doctor. We will
Yes.
alert the world about the treatment that we watch these patients receive. And so that's why I
Yep.
was so excited to do this. Not only to be like to reminisce on all the amazing times we had, but to kind of fulfill a promise to them that I never did. I never
Yeah.
called the
Yeah.
newspaper. After Dr. Gardner tried to
Absolutely.
squash me, I didn't do
Mm-hmm.
much. And that's what my attorney said. This is how this man gets away with this stuff. He goes and
Yeah.
tries to squash little people, and then they're so
Mm-hmm.
scared for their nursing license that they don't retaliate against him. They don't tell the truth. Well, I'm not
Mm-hmm.
scared. I don't live in fear. I don't have to be tied to a dialysis machine
Same.
3 times a week with zero choice, literally
Mm-hmm.
given the worst meds, feeling like absolute garbage. That's not my life. So will I risk
Right.
my life for them? Yes, because they have no
Right.
choice.
Exactly. Same. And that's why I wanted to do this episode too. I was like, this is like the best um opportunity for me to get this story out. And I
Mm-hmm.
knew you would do it with me,
Yeah.
because you and I were there together and we saw all of this stuff that
Yeah.
he was doing wrong and to wrong
Mm-hmm.
his patients, our patients,
Yep.
and I feel like they were more our patients than they were his.
Oh,
All they
absolutely.
were
They
to him
hated
was a
him.
dollar,
They hated him.
dollar bills, dollar bills,
Right. When he would be like, I'm going to
and
take
they
a visit
didn't,
to the
like you
clinic, they'd be
say.
like, oh, God, he's coming here. Why is he coming here? Like, oh, no.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I
you're
remember
supposed
the
to see
first
them
time that
monthly.
I met him in person. He came to the clinic, and I remember more than one patient saying to me, "This is the first time I've seen him in over a year."
Right.
Over a
And he
year.
was signing care plans for every single one of these patients that he's seeing them monthly.
Every
However, he lives
week.
on another island. So
Yeah,
where are the flight
and
records?
never
He's
came
not
in,
coming to St.
and
Thomas to
he
check
didn't
on his
even
patients.
have phone conversations
Nope.
with these people. So how did he? I'm sorry, but how are you
How
going
did
to
you
write a
assess that?
progress note on somebody that you're not communicating with in
Right.
any form?
Right. Haven't seen him, haven't talked to him, but you're writing monthly progress notes. So
He wasn't even
Medicare fraud,
talking to the
Medicare fraud,
nurses.
Medicare fraud.
Yeah. He wouldn't even talk to the nurses, and he's signing these progress reports as if he's in there talking to these people face to face.
Yep.
I just don't understand.
And I'm
I
telling
don't
him, this
understand
patient's getting
how.
better, their dry weight's less. I'm telling him this and that.
Mhm,
He says, we'll see, we'll see. And then he goes into
mhm.
the computer and starts changing back numbers
Yeah.
from all the research and hard work that I did to get these
Mhm,
patients to a good place so the numbers
mhm.
would look good for Medicaid.
Exactly.
And that's
Exactly.
so disgusting. We had
Mhm.
a young woman pass away who should have never passed away from a line infection. A line
Yeah.
infection. A chest port
Mhm.
that is literally connected directly to her heart.
Through the heart.
He
Yeah.
gets an infection, and he tells me to run 1 gram of IV Vanco. 1 gram of IV Vanco is not going to do shit. We need to
No.
measure the Vanco levels. We need to get her into the ICU. This is a life
Yeah.
or death situation. For
Mhm.
4 days, the ICU was closed for holiday, closed for holiday, closed for holiday. And
Yeah.
then the youngest woman we had in dialysis lost her life because of how shitty this place is.
Yeah.
And that's when I
You know
realized, like,
what?
whoa.
I was just so devastated by that
Mm-hmm.
because it didn't have to happen.
Right.
It was so avoidable.
Mm-hmm.
And if he were a decent human being who had respect for human life, that would not have happened
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah. And the other nurses were making house calls to Dr. Gardner's house to help him with his diabetes and help him with this. And he said, if I flew you out, would you help me? I said, no, not a chance in hell. You hire me to help these patients and you won't even let me help them. So your fast can just go ahead into a diabetic coma and do us all a favor.
Mm-hmm.
Harsh, but that's how I feel.
I know it. I have never ever had such negative feelings about another human being in my life as I do for
Especially a
him.
doctor, someone supposed to help,
Yeah. And I mean,
someone in charge of us.
I've seen bad doctors or what I consider to be bad doctors because
Mm-hmm.
with all my health issues, I've been in and out of doctors. I've seen so many doctors in so many settings my whole life,
Yeah.
including working with them. I've worked with a bunch of doctors, like a lot of doctors
Me too.
throughout my
Me too.
medical career.
Almost
And I've
11 years
never,
in medicine. Yeah.
ever
I've
seen someone
encountered a
like
lot of
that
doctors.
before. Yeah.
He's the
Yeah.
worst. He takes the cake. Like,
Yeah. He really does
so,
by far. You know what? I remember too. This is another one that really pissed me off too. So remember, you and I set up the COVID
vaccine
clinic,
clinic.
the
Yes.
vaccine clinic. Yeah, and he gave us permission to do this. We
Yes.
were
And
gonna.
the other nurse was
Mhm.
collecting humans from the town who wanted to get
Yeah.
vaccinated because basically the story was none of the residents of the island wanted to get vaccinated. They
Yeah.
are
Hmm.
extremely immunocompromised. They
Yeah.
are
I
sick as
remember.
hell on
Yeah.
dialysis and
Yeah.
refused to take the vaccine. They wanted to do the Bush tea. Okay, well, I had to fight like hell from the health department to get those vaccines, so I was not trying to have them go to
Hmm.
waste. So Dr. Gardner said we
Yeah.
can vaccinate people in the community. The other nurse was
Yeah.
doing it, so we got a whole clinic
Hmm.
together, scheduled them
Hmm.
all day, and was it the day before that he quashed it
Yes.
via email?
No, was it? It was either the day. Yeah, it was. It was the day before. So, and I remember you and I talking to several patients in the clinic and trying to explain to them what the benefits of doing this, of getting this vaccine was, and we changed some minds.
Yeah,
And then you and I went through the community as well, and we made the whole schedule for everybody who wanted it to get these vaccines.
right, because we're
We
like,
had
how
the
can we
health
keep these
department on
patients
our side.
safe?
We had everything.
Yeah, we're like,
Everything
okay,
was
these
set up.
patients don't want to get vaccinated. So we get them
Mhm.
herd immunity. We get these vaccines into the community to like actual
Yeah,
healthy people. And then our patients can get a little bit of immunity and the vaccines don't go to waste. He okayed it.
exactly.
We had
Exactly.
consents. We had
Hmm.
everything in line. And then the day
Hmm.
of, for no reason but because he likes to
Hmm.
torture people and he likes to have
Hmm.
power trips, he said, I know you guys have that whole vaccine clinic
Hmm.
scheduled to tomorrow. I know you got another doctor to come oversee it. I know everything's legit, but quash it. We're not doing it. Too much paperwork
Yep.
on this end.
And we spent so much time
So much
coordinating the
time.
whole
So
thing.
much time.
So much time. And we were going to spend our entire only day off that week to run this clinic and
And
to make
also,
sure.
we're respectful women of our word. We gave our word to these people of the community. They were so
Yeah,
hyped. Like, they were like, oh my
we
God,
were.
seriously? Like, me and my wife can get the vaccine? Sign us up. Oh my
Hmm.
gosh, yes. Like, what he took
Hmm.
away from us was like so much greater, like, than just taking a couple vaccines away from a couple humans. He took away our
Right.
respect, our
Hmm.
our word as women, as healthcare
Hmm.
professionals, to have to go and tell these patients day
Hmm.
of, sorry, never mind, was
Yeah,
so heinous. And then letting these
it
vaccines
was.
expire and
It
having
was
all our patients get
heartbreaking.
COVID, and then all the staff got COVID. And that's what
Hmm.
ultimately led to our demise there is like nobody would
Yeah.
get the vaccine, everybody was getting COVID, but we had no help. And I can't run a
Hmm.
dialysis clinic with just me and you because we're the only ones that didn't get COVID because we're the only ones that got vaccinated.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And not only that, we were required to be vaccinated to get this job.
Hmm. But the people who live there, who work there with no
Hmm.
license, under my
Yeah.
license, are not required
Yeah.
to get vaccinated.
Yeah.
So then when they don't
And
get
that was the other
vaccinated, the
thing too,
whole
is
freaking
it
clinic breaks out with COVID. And we're the
right?
only two that don't have it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that was just crazy, crazy, crazy.
Nobody was taking
And
it
then like,
seriously. They're just going everywhere with COVID, spreading the COVID around. They're like, it's not real. Like, giving
yeah,
everyone else COVID. And I'm just like,
yeah.
is this real?
Oh my
Is this really
gosh.
happening?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it was awful. It was awful.
Yeah. And then he
I
walks
just
into the clinic and says, you're fired. You have 24 hours to get out of your apartment. So I go to my apartment, start
yeah.
packing, and then he said, actually, it's 12 hours now. I called the
Yeah.
police and they're like, yeah, that's illegal, but we can't do anything. It's Dr. Gardner. He's
Yeah.
untouchable. So that was
Yeah.
cool.
He's totally untouchable.
Kicked out on
But
the
you know
street.
what? When I quit, so here's how I quit. So when I signed my contract with him, when he first called me about the job after I talked to you, and he called me and we discussed the job and all the stuff that how much I was going to get paid and this and this and this, I he called me a hard ass because I negotiated everything. And I was like, nope, I want this. Nope, I want this. Nope, I want this. And he would, we went back and forth on a couple of things, but I got everything I wanted because I was like, I'm not going to uproot my life to go and to go and be taken advantage of.
Yes.
You know, I know my worth.
Mm-hmm.
I know my job well. I know I do it well. And I know my worth and I was not going to settle for less. And he was so desperate for people that he was like, okay, fine. And he did. He gave me everything I wanted. And one of those things was that I told him I have a grandbaby on the way and I want to go to Colorado for 2 weeks when he is born. And I told him about when I wanted to go, how long I was going to be gone, and he agreed to that. And we had it in in my contract when I was going to be able to go, and that I would be coming back on this day to finish out my contract. Right. Well, when that came along, he was like, "Okay, well, when you're done with your vacation, you don't have to come back." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And he's like, "So you should move out." I was like, "Okay, well, you know what? And that was even before it was like we were, I don't know, maybe 3 weeks before I was supposed to leave for Colorado. So he wanted me to move out right then. And I was like, nope, it's in my contract that while I'm here, you're paying for my housing. So I'm gonna stay here until I leave for Colorado. And he's like, no, I need you out. And I was like, nope, it's in my contract. Shall we pull that up? And I can't remember who I called and talked to, if it was a lawyer or who it was, but I talked to somebody and they said, no, he can't force you to get out. And so I was able to stay until I left for Colorado. And he was not happy about it.
No, he
He
wasn't.
was not happy.
And then I know when I got kicked out, I came to live in that spot with you. And he
Yeah.
was trying to get both of us kicked out. And so we went to the
Yep.
landlord and we're like, listen,
Yep.
that guy's been shorting you on rent. He's stingy,
Mm-hmm.
right? Yeah, he's not a man of his word, right? Yeah, he's been trying to screw you over at every corner, right? Yeah. So we don't trust
Mm-hmm.
that man. You know who we do trust? These two people who are healthcare providers who've done
Yeah.
nothing but try to take care of these humans and then kicked out on the
Mm-hmm.
street. So would you like to kick us out on the street for the man who abuses everyone, abuses power? He's a liar.
Mm-hmm.
He's an
Mm-hmm.
absolute terrorist. And he said, okay, you girls can stay. I'm going to tell him you're not here.
Yep. Yep.
Because that's when good prevails over evil. And then we got to stay there for quite a while longer until we
We
decided to
did.
leave.
Right? Oh my gosh, that was like such a win for us.
Oh my
I
God. And
was
then, yeah, we
so
got to do
happy.
more boat days and we got all those
We
stuff from the
did.
raffle from Antilles. And we were doing
We
like boat
did.
days and we were doing yoga and we were doing CrossFit and we were
And
having wine dinners. And
beaches
like,
and
what? Life was not
hikes
terrible.
and amazing meals.
Amazing meals. Oh, I miss the food and the
Oh, I do
lobsters.
too. Oh my God, yes. Oh, it was so good. Everything was so
Mhm.
good there. We went to all the best restaurants. We had our every week we had our Taco Tuesdays, our Margarita Tuesdays, because
Mhm.
we almost never actually ordered tacos, but we always had our margaritas.
Right? Those things were so good.
Yes,
Yeah,
taco
man.
shells. Oh
Going
gosh, do you
back there
remember
was
our
so weird
waiter?
without you. I was just like, she needs to
Yeah,
be here. It's
yeah,
changed so much. Like pretty much all the businesses turned over and changed to something different during COVID. But
yeah.
honestly, there's so
Well,
much life there right now because it was pretty wrecked from the hurricane when we were there. So it has
right.
gotten a
And well,
little
and
bit
not
better.
only that, there were no cruise ships when we were there because of
Oh,
COVID.
yeah, and that was great. Now they're freaking flooded with them again.
Yeah,
Yeah. But I
yeah,
mean, their whole thing is tourism, so they need them. It's just
right,
like every other
right.
island where the locals hate tourists and they hate tourism, but they wouldn't have a single
But they
dollar
need
without
it.
tourism. I get
Yeah,
it. You were born on this island. You deserve it more than anyone else. Like, you deserve to be
yeah,
here more than all of us, but can we just have a
yeah.
little grace?
Well, you know what? And that was another one of the positive things. We're talking about all the horrible things that we went through with Dr. Gardner, which honestly, I don't even like calling him doctor. He's Mr. Gardner to me because he does not deserve to have that title as far as I'm concerned. But you know, the positive things that we went through on the island. First of all, the residents, especially as soon as they heard what we were doing, that as soon as they heard that we were working at the dialysis center, they welcomed us so wholeheartedly, and they were so sweet and so helpful to us.
Hmm.
And like, I was amazed at how
Hmm.
welcoming they were to us.
Yeah, truly.
That they
When I
didn't
went back,
know.
I just went to my jewelry store and
Yeah.
literally they recognized me. They're like, "Oh my God, you're Mrs. Da Da Da's nurse." And I'm like, "I
Oh,
am."
that's
And he's like, "I remember
awesome.
you." He's like, "You don't live
Yeah.
here anymore." And I was like, "No, I don't live here anymore." And he's like, "But you're coming back." And he's like, "That's so special. I'll tell my aunt
Yep.
that you were in and you get the special COVID nursing discount." And he gave me like the same discount, like the old
That's
price on gold,
awesome.
like because he's just and like to recognize me years later just means that
I
we like
know.
did make an impact there. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, we definitely did.
Yeah.
And it was just so amazing to be there because even like I
So
say, even
amazing.
through all the hard times of working, we both ended up hating our job because of Mr.
One
Gardner.
person. Hmm.
But like I say, the love that we got from the residents, or
Yeah.
the patients rather, um made our job worth it
Yeah.
in the
I mean, and
end.
it was awesome. Like it could have been so
Oh
awesome.
my
I
god,
literally
yeah.
lived in this amazing apartment right above the
Yeah, me
dialysis center.
too.
I walked down 2 steps to work. It was
Yeah,
so great. The patients were so great. We had everything that we needed to
yeah,
run dialysis. There was just one denominator that made everybody and everything
right.
miserable. And it's like,
Well, here's the thing though. You say we had everything we needed, and you know, basically we did, but what also I was upset about there was the fact that all the machines were old and broken down. I
oh yeah,
couldn't
our
take the
supplies,
blood pressure.
our blood
Oh my
pressure
god.
cuffs. Oh, that was the
The blood
worst.
pressure cuffs. Oh, it was
Yeah, running
such a mess.
dialysis with blood pressure cuffs that are like 87 years old where we can't get an accurate
Mhm.
reading, like definitely the least safe thing we've ever done.
Oh
But
my
we
god,
fucking did
yes.
it, okay? And no
We
one
made it
ever
work.
got hurt on our shift. No one ever
Yeah.
bled out on our shift. No one ever left our clinic worse than they came in. And that is something I can say with my whole heart and I'm so proud
Yep.
of. So, no matter what
Yes.
else
Yes.
was happened and whatever else, like we tried our best. We did
Yeah.
amazing. We fixed
We
these
did.
people's dry weights. We made them all feel
Mhm.
amazing. We got them on a wonderful schedule. We provided the next level of love and care that most of these nurses that he brought in didn't because they don't want to piss him off.
Mhm.
They want to come, they want to be
They're
welcome back
scared
for
of
the
him.
next contract. They're going to
Yeah.
forge the numbers. They're going to deal with his BS. They're going to kiss his
Mhm.
hiney, go to his house and help him with his dialysis. Like, not us.
Mhm.
We were there to make the patient's lives better, to get stuff in
Yep.
order with dialysis, and we did that. And we did
Yeah.
amazing.
And do you remember I stood up to him so many times, and there was this one particular time that I stood up to him and I was like, "Look, I know my job. I know
Mhm.
how to do dialysis. You obviously don't." And I just ripped into that guy, and I was like, and after that time, he refused to talk to me for the rest of the time I was there. And in fact, how I said that he told me I could leave and move out and blah 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 blah. He couldn't even tell me that himself. He had his secretary tell me.
Yep. I feel so bad for those poor girls that like were his little minions because like
Mm-hmm.
he didn't pay them shit and like as soon as they piss him
Right.
off they're out, you know what I mean? And they live on this little
Mm-hmm.
island, it's not like
Oh,
they could go get
sure.
another job. And
Yeah. Well,
that
I mean,
was
jobs are so few and far between on that island,
oh yeah,
because there's a lot of people there, and so when you have a job, you keep it. But
right. And
like
it's
the
so
other thing that
impoverished, like
made
it's
me
not like
angry,
yeah.
yeah, and the other thing that kind of made me angry about him too was the way he treated the techs. He would
Hmm.
the the techs that lived on island that were that were natives to the island, he paid them pennies. He wouldn't give them raises, and he did not train them properly.
Right.
Like when I got there, I was seeing so many things that those techs were not doing correctly,
Right. He
and
didn't
I
even
would
care. He
teach
just
them.
wanted bodies in a chair and a
Yep.
dialysis procedure performed.
Hmm.
He didn't care, did they put the
Hmm.
needle the wrong way and actually dialyze the blood?
Hmm.
He didn't care. Did
Right.
they slip out a needle and fucking almost bleed to death? He didn't care.
Yeah. Yeah. Are they
And so he
infiltrating
taught those
people? Are
techs
they?
untrained.
Hmm.
So all they know
Hmm.
is how what he taught them, and he doesn't know shit.
Yeah.
He's not compassionate. He
Yeah.
doesn't know anything about a dialysis machine. He knows very
Yeah.
little about dialysis for being a nephrologist. And
Hmm.
so we
Yeah.
basically had untrained locals working under us
Hmm.
that wouldn't listen to anybody but him because he was like
Hmm.
their be all end all
They were
savior
afraid of
without a
him because
paycheck
they were
from
afraid of him
them
because
because
they needed that job,
right, their
even
babies
though
don't
they
eat
weren't getting
if
paid
they
enough.
pissed him off. So they never
Yeah.
pissed him off because they needed
Yeah.
their babies to eat. So he had
Hmm.
these subservient, actually like poverty-stricken humans
Yeah.
depending
Hmm.
on him in all areas of his life. And his little power trip, he just
Hmm.
wanted to like torture everyone. And if anyone had anything to say about it, then you're cut off. There goes your food supply. There goes your life. There goes your nursing license for no
Yep.
reason, just to do it. And how someone that
Yep.
spiteful and that evil remains to be alive, I don't really understand, but
I don't either.
I
Like I
doubt it'll
say,
be
I'm
long.
so glad he's not running that dialysis center anymore. I feel for those patients though,
Hmm.
because like you say, I don't know where they're getting their dialysis now, and I really hope and pray that they're getting something good.
Yeah. A lot of them
I
had to
do.
move off island. They were literally told, we can't facilitate you for dialysis here. So if you have
Yeah.
family in another place, you
Hmm.
need to go there. Because
Yeah.
obviously you die without dialysis. So
Yeah.
I talked to one of the nurses down there and she's like, the hospital was completely jammed up with them. A lot of them did
Hmm.
get chairs, but a lot of them didn't. So they had to move to the States. They had to move with their family. They're like living on someone's couch in Atlanta because that's like the one
Hmm.
person they knew and they can get dialysis there.
Yeah.
So yes, it's ugly for them. They had to disperse, and a couple of them did
Yeah.
die, but
Yeah.
they got what they wanted. They do not have Dr. Gardner doing their
Hmm.
dialysis, controlling their life, bullying
Hmm.
them. Like, as stressful as it was for us for 3 to 6 months, that's their
Hmm.
entire life. They don't get off
Right.
dialysis. Another dialysis
Yeah.
isn't coming into town because he
Hmm.
paid off every single dialysis company that tried to come into town. He used his connections to squash that. So he
Hmm.
cornered the market.
Yep.
He was absolutely terrorist to them. They had nowhere else to go. So I
Yeah.
was such a mix of emotions when I went up to that center and it
Yeah.
was empty. Like,
Yeah.
are they alive? Are they
Well,
living better
yeah.
lives? Like, I pray.
And these are
I don't
legitimate
know.
questions and concerns. But I
Hmm.
guarantee the ones that move to the States are getting so much better treatment,
Oh
no matter
yeah, they're
where
getting
they're getting
kidneys.
their
A couple people
treatment.
got kidneys, which he was never trying to get his patients
Right.
kidneys. You
No,
know
he
what
was not.
really
He,
halts your
you know
money a
what?
lot? A patient getting a kidney.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? That I believe wholeheartedly is another reason why he would not allow us to get them to a healthy dry weight for
Right.
them, because he knew that if they were compliant, they would not even be allowed on the list. And
Well,
so
yeah, and we
he
got
puts
that.
them.
Yeah, we got that
What?
new case manager, remember? And she was like, "What the hell? Like, he
Yeah,
doesn't want me to get transplants.
yeah.
He doesn't want me to do this paperwork to get them
Yeah,
transplants. He
because
doesn't."
if somebody gets a transplant, that's how much money is he out then?
right? Like she's like, I just moved here. I moved my life
Mhm.
here to work for this
Mhm.
man. And like,
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be helping these people get kidneys. I'm supposed to be keeping their numbers good. And all he wants me to do is
Mhm.
keep their numbers shitty so we keep getting Medicare checks. And
Yeah.
definitely doesn't want them to get a kidney because then they leave the chair and then he loses money on them. So like I
Right.
remember she was
Exactly.
freaking out and she's just like, what the hell? This is the job I just
Yeah.
accepted? And I'm like, yeah, girl, we're all in the same boat. We're all here
Yep.
to do
Yep.
amazing things. We got
And
trips.
we've been here already for 3 or so months, and we've
Yeah.
seen it all.
Yep. And I remember she was
Yeah.
shocked, but she's just like the rest of the locals. There's nothing I can do. I live here now. My
Yeah.
life's here now. My husband's here now. I can't piss him
Mhm.
off. There's nowhere else for me to go get a job.
Yep. Yep.
So they all sat in compliance with them while you and I were like, well, we're just going back to the States then, I guess. Like, we
Yeah.
tried
Yeah.
like hell, but that's all
Yeah.
we could do.
But it is what it is. You know
Yeah.
what? So I want to transition now to the good times that we had on the island.
Yes. Oh my God. Do you
Let's
remember my
talk.
birthday?
Yes. Oh my gosh.
And we got on that boat and we went to Happy Island with all those little tiny hermit crabs everywhere, like a
Yes.
million
Oh
of
my God,
them.
that was so much fun. I just
Yes.
remember blaring the music on the boat and
Yep.
dancing with everyone. There was how
Hmm.
many of us were there? Like 10 or 12 of us that day.
Yeah. That was
And
before, yeah, that was Jessie was there. Her husband was there before that ended.
yeah,
Kara was there and
Liz was there,
then
Kiara,
Liz.
Ambi was there, me and you. Oh, was the other Liz there? Liz and Bob?
I
Yeah, they
don't think,
were.
were they? Oh, I
Yeah,
think they
Liz and
were.
Bob were there.
Yeah. Yeah, that was before they
Yeah,
moved. Yeah.
yeah, it was.
God,
It was
that was
before they moved, so
awesome.
they were there. Yeah. Oh my God, we had so much fun. And Zozo's.
Oh,
Oh, Zozo's.
yeah.
That was an amazing restaurant.
Yeah. Hmm.
And riding the water taxi from our boat to the shore for the restaurant, and
Oh, yeah.
oh, it was so amazing. The
Right? Like renting a mooring ball and having a captain and like all
Yes,
the stuff that like we definitely haven't experienced since then.
right.
I've been
Oh my
on
God.
land.
Those were some amazing experiences.
Hmm.
Watching, seeing the sea turtles.
Hmm.
Oh my God, the
Every
sea
single night
turtles
that
were
we could,
amazing.
getting down to the beach for
Yes.
sunset.
Yes. And getting up for sunrise and
Hmm.
going and doing yoga on the beach. Like,
Oh,
wow. Wow.
yeah, that was amazing.
Those sunrises were gorgeous. Oh, my apartment, I loved my apartment.
Hmm.
I had a 2 bedroom, 2 bathroom apartment, and it was so nice. Let's talk about our Galentines.
Oh yeah.
That was a lot of fun.
My cousin was in town. Okay, yeah, let's talk about that one. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. You ready?
And then I want to talk about Duffy's too.
Oh my God, yeah. Okay, let's do it. Okay.
Okay. All right. So, oh my gosh, Galentine's. We had the best time.
Galentine. Hmm.
Galentine's was so fun. We went to 13, and
13.
yes, their food was so freaking good. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
I
I
remember we had red
loved it there.
wine and lobster,
Yeah.
and I think we had crab cakes and maybe even
Yes.
octopus.
I think we did. Yeah, I think that's where we had the octopus. What else did we had so much stuff there.
Yeah, and my cousin
And
and her fiance were visiting, and that's when
yes.
Kiera was living down there. So we were all down there together, and we were all dressed up, and we looked so beautiful.
Yeah. Oh, it was so fun. Jess was there with us.
Hmm.
Jen and Liz. Wait, was Liz there?
I don't think so.
I think she wasn't able to come that time,
Yeah,
but
I think it
Jen
was.
was there.
Hmm.
We had a good group of people,
It
and
was
oh my
awesome.
God, it
I'll
was
try
so
to
much
find the
fun.
pictures so I can remember who was there.
Yeah, me
I know it was
too.
all girls.
So, yeah.
That was most of our life
And
down
the
there.
boys that ran that place were so sweet. Oh my
Yes,
gosh.
chef, and then his boyfriend.
Yes. Yes. Ah, they were the best. They were the best.
They were
Oh
so
my
great.
gosh. That was such a good night. I had
Yeah.
so much fun.
He
Yeah.
randomly called me, that kid. He moved back to Atlanta. He's not with Chef anymore. Um,
Oh.
I mean, truly that was never gonna last, but it was cute. I'm like, oh, yeah, we won't go there. But yeah. That was good. That was good.
Yeah, that was a great night. And then like Duffy's. Duffy's was so good. I loved going there because it was just so much fun, you
Yeah.
know?
So Duffy's, if you ever guys ever go to St. Thomas, is like this amazing bar, and it's a restaurant too. Their food's delicious too, but it's just like a
Oh
little
yeah.
shack, and they just have all these drinks, frozen drinks, mixed drinks, all island drinks, and you can buy a drink, or you can buy it in a souvenir cup that was glass.
Mm-hmm.
So I literally have in my cabinet, I think right now, a pineapple, a
Mm-hmm.
pirate, a mermaid, something else. We got all the cups. We literally couldn't even bring them
Yeah.
all back when we got kicked out
Yeah.
and onto the
I
street.
had
I had
well,
to
I
return.
had the pineapple, but I gave it to my nephew.
Nice.
Um, I have a skull.
Oh yeah,
Um, what's the other one I have? I can't remember. There's another one that I have, at least one more.
I love
But
that.
oh my gosh, it was so much fun there. They always played the music loud, and I love
Hmm.
that. And it was in Red Hook.
Yeah, I
So
took
if
my
you go to
boyfriend
St.
there the other
Thomas,
day, and it's still just as amazing. He was hooked. He like
yeah,
loved it. I think I went
of
back to the
course.
hotel and crashed out, and he like went back to Duffy's because he was like having so much fun, and he like loved that guy. They were having like a little bromance situation. But I was like,
Oh
yes, because
boy.
I want to move to the island. So I'm like, if this guy can convince my boyfriend that we should move to the island,
Mhm.
yes.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Oh
Yeah, I
my
couldn't
gosh,
even
and the
believe that
beaches. I
same
just
guy.
loved the beaches there.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite was, I'm not going to say the name of it because it's I want to keep that secret. It was one of the it wasn't a tourist kind of beach, it was a locals beach. So you go there and there's hardly ever anybody else there, which is part of my favorite part about it. You know which one
Was
I'm
it the
talking
one you
about,
had
the
to
one
take
that's
like the
right by my
four-wheel drive
house.
down the really gnarly
Yep.
road?
Yep,
Yeah,
that one.
yeah,
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
that
That
was my
one's great.
favorite. And it was like 5 minute drive from my house. So I
Mm-hmm.
went there all the time. Um, Another one of our favorites was Sapphire Beach.
Mm-hmm.
We
Sapphire
love
Beach.
Sapphire Beach. Um,
Yeah.
oh my gosh. Do you
Yeah.
remember the day that it rained when we were at Sapphire and it
Yes,
started
I remember we were
pouring and
laughing
everybody
so
like
hard and we were
scattered and
swimming in the
left? And
rain.
yes, we
Yeah.
had so much fun. Oh my
Everybody
gosh. We
left
were
and we're like,
just,
why are they leaving? And we're like,
yeah.
we're just swimming and we're laughing and we're like dancing in the water and it was just
Playing in
pouring
the
rain on us.
waves. Oh
That
my
was like
gosh,
one of
that
the
was
best moments of my
amazing.
life, probably.
It was, me too. Oh my gosh. That
Yeah.
was just amazing. And then our
Yeah.
towels and everything was sopping wet.
Stopping. And we didn't even
You know
care.
what though? We did not care a bit. We just had so much fun. We enjoyed that so much. It was the best. It was the
Yeah.
best.
I think there
Yeah,
was
that
like
was
a
one of
guy
my
there on the beach and he like commented, he's like, you girls are having a literal
yeah.
blast. And we're like, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we are. Carry on. Nothing to
He
see
was, I think he was staying in that resort that was behind
there.
us. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it was Sapphire, it was the other one that
Yeah.
he was staying in. And he just saw us and he's like, "Man, you guys are having a good old time."
Yeah, we were too. That was great.
Yeah, that was so awesome.
I
Yeah.
miss being warm. I'm so sick of being cold. I'm sitting
Me
here in my house
too.
in my tank top, like just
Yep.
trying to reminisce on the beach, and I'm
Yep.
freezing. I'm
I
so
know,
cold.
right? Oh my gosh, though. The weather was always we were there over the winter and it was one of the it was a really bad winter in Jersey. So I missed out on all the snow and the horrible cold
Hmm.
it was like always between 70 and 80 degrees on the
It was
island and
always
it was
beautiful.
perfect.
I remember like
Perfect.
being too hot, and that's like a feeling I
Yeah.
haven't felt in so long. And I'm like, I would
Yep.
trade that feeling so much. I
Yeah.
just want to be
Yeah.
hot on a beach,
Well,
sweaty.
in living in New Mexico, I do get the hot here, but it's a different kind of hot. It's dry, and over there it's humid, you
Hmm.
know. But I miss it so much. I really do. I love just being able to jump in the ocean.
Me
Oh my
too.
gosh, I would float in the ocean for hours.
Yeah.
I would go to the beach by my house and I would just lay there. I'd be there all by myself, nobody else around, and I'd just float for hours. And it just, being in that water was so refreshing and uh, like when there were a few times that we were able to go after work to the beach and that was the best because you just kind of it rejuvenates you,
Yeah.
You know,
Like, I
I
think, what are
just,
those salt chambers that people use? Like, what are they
yeah,
called?
I don't remember what they're
But
called,
it's
but I know what
basically
you're
that.
talking about.
It's like it's so
Yeah.
much salt that you float. Because I
Hmm.
don't know if you guys know this, and feel free to fact check me, but I
Hmm.
think that our sea was salty. Only second saltiest was the Dead Sea. So it was so
Yes.
salty that after I'd be done floating, I would come up and I would have salt balls on all my
Yes.
eyelashes. But like you didn't
Yes.
even have to try to float. It was so viscous, you just floated.
Yeah.
I have this
Yeah.
picture of you like laying in the water and you're like holding the champagne bottle because it was on my birthday and you're just floating just with the champagne
Yep.
bottle.
Holding the champagne. That's one of my favorite pictures.
Me too.
I didn't even know somebody took the picture when I was out there until late, like I don't know, weeks later, somebody showed me the picture. I think it was probably you, and I was like, "Oh
Yeah.
my god!"
Yep. Yeah, that was, man,
But
we
I
had
love
some of
that
the best
picture.
times. I definitely
Hmm.
echo like the sentiment that you said that like, yes, it was rough, it was hard,
Hmm.
but I wouldn't ever take it back for anything. That was one of the most amazing
Hmm.
experiences of my life. That was
Oh yeah.
one of the amazing, most 6 months of my life ever. Like,
Hmm.
I mean, look at your life today, look at my life today, and it's just crazy to think that 5 years ago we were living together on a
Yeah.
beach, working the same job, like in paradise. It's
Oh
crazy how
yeah.
much,
Absolutely. Holding
yeah,
each other up on the bad days and just having the absolute best days in between. It was just
absolutely. So
incredible.
special.
Incredible. Yeah.
Yeah,
And we met some really cool people there. Oh my
we
gosh, you
really
know what else I love and I miss is the farmers markets, not the farmers markets, but the fruit stands.
did.
Everywhere you go, there's fruit stands, and I just used to love stopping there and getting all the fresh fruit, the mangoes, the giant avocados. Remember those giant
Yeah, and they would
avocados?
never go bad.
Yes,
Those were so
yes.
good. And then I remember we did go to like the actual locals, like farmers market, and we got some like
Yeah.
hot sauce and we got some of the other shit.
Oh
And like,
yeah.
to be honest, they were not being nice to us. I think they like stole some of our change. They didn't want to
Yeah.
talk to us. So I didn't
Hmm.
really know what we were buying. And
Right.
then I brought it back to the my spot and I was telling our one of our favorite patients about it. And he's like, "Oh, I love that cherry juice." And I was like, "Oh, I just got some. Like, I'll come bring it down for you."
Yeah.
So I brought him a cup down. And then the other patients are like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" And she's like, "We're not allowed to drink in here. That's fermented. That's like alcohol." I'm like, "Oh my God, it is? Oh my God. I just gave my patient alcohol." But it was like kombucha amount of alcohol, like not a big deal. But I was just like, shit, you guys need some fucking labels or something. God.
Oh, that's so funny. At least it was a small glass.
And he was like, yeah, I don't even know if he knew, but like he was hyped on it.
Oh,
I
I'm
was
sure
hyped
he
on
did.
it.
I'm sure he did.
Oh my God. Remember the time when we came back from we went across to the other island, the one that you could take a ferry
St.
to,
John?
St.
Yeah.
John. And we were
Mhm.
swimming in the ocean and we had fish tacos with that one like guy. And then when he brought us back to the dialysis center, I went upstairs and I went upstairs and it smelled so good. I went into the dialysis center and I was like, "Oh my
Oh,
God, what are you guys cooking in here?" And they were like, "We're not cooking anything. That's coming from your apartment." I was like, "Oh shit." And I like ran up the stairs to my apartment because I had left meat, like slow cooking, like, a pot roast with the
yeah.
broth. We were gone for 8 hours. That meat just barely soaked up the rest of the liquid and then like before it just burnt
Yeah.
the whole place down. But that meat was so delicious. Do you
So
remember?
good.
We were
Yes.
like,
That
"Oh
was
my God, we almost burned down the dialysis clinic, but let's eat because we're hungry." And it was so good. I didn't tell the
it
girls. I was like, "Oh yeah, oh yeah, I knew I was cooking stuff up there. Yeah, let me go check on it." And then ran up there with a fury
was.
to
Yeah.
realize I had
Oh
left
my
this
god,
meat
that
on
was
the freaking stove for eight
crazy.
hours. But it was delicious and everything was fine.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so great.
Oh man. Oh, we had just some of the best times there. We really did. Oh my gosh.
Truly. It was
Yeah.
weird going back. Like, it was so amazing. It's still so beautiful.
Mhm.
Every single beach is amazing. Every single beach is exactly how I remembered it. But not
Mhm.
having, like, my best friend to call to do the adventures with me, like, was just
Yeah.
so different. You know what I mean? Like me and Zach had an
Yeah.
amazing time, but like
Yeah.
not being able to see Jen, not being able to see Liz, not being able to see
Mhm.
you. Jesse
Mhm.
left as soon as I got to the islands. I went during a holiday, so they were all like back
Oh,
spending the
okay, yeah.
holiday with their family, but it
Yeah.
was just very odd. I'm like,
Oh,
of
I
course,
bet.
didn't go
I
to
bet.
Liz's, didn't see her pool, didn't see Jen. I know
Yeah.
Jen has a new dog, and I've been like, was so excited to see
Ooh.
and meet her new dog, but it just means I'll
Mhm.
have to go back again, and hopefully this time you can come.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to get back. I
Mhm.
can't wait. I mean, you and I went back a few years ago,
Yeah, with my
um,
mom.
with your mom, yeah. And that was a lot of fun too. And that was when we went to St. Croix, and that
That
was
was
our
amazing.
first time to St. Croix.
Yeah,
And that was a lot of fun too, though. That resort that we were in was amazing. Oh my
yeah,
gosh, I loved that place. It was so nice,
yeah.
so nice.
Yeah,
But
we
yeah,
got Aunt Tilly's school had a fundraiser because that's how they get their tuition. So they did a
hmm,
fundraiser and all these companies from all over the different islands donated gifts and then we raffled them. And so to support Aunt Tilly's, we got all these
we got
random
a bunch
experiences.
of things.
We're like,
Yeah,
we were supposed to be there for 3 more months. So we
yeah.
got a haul of stuff that we were going to do together. And then we got
Hmm.
laid off. So we're like, well, we still have all these things to do
Hmm.
that we paid for. So we need to
Yep,
stay. We did some girl math and we
yep,
decided we needed to stay and do all the adventures.
yep.
So we did that. And there was like, yeah, three that we couldn't complete in our time living there. So we went back
Yeah.
with my mom and we did the last of the remaining coupons. We stayed at the resort. We did like the aerial
Mhm.
yoga over the ocean or
Yeah.
something. And then one of the other
What was
ones.
the other
But
one?
it was great. It
With a
was,
massage. It was the massage.
oh, the massage.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. It was pretty
Yeah.
epic.
Oh
It
my
was
god. I
great.
still have my scuba gear that I got because I got the scuba gear and I
Oh
still
my,
have it.
oh my God. We need that.
Yes.
We need
Yes.
that.
We'll have to
That was
take
like the
it
one
next
thing
time
we
we
were
go.
missing when we were down there. But like the Virgin Islands doesn't have like the craziest stuff to look at. It has
Yeah.
beautiful crystal clear waters, but it's just white sand. There's not like too
It's
much to look at. But I remember when we
well.
did go with Andy to
Mhm.
Lindquist Beach and
Oh
we
yeah.
did snorkeling, I saw a
Hmm.
lot of stuff. Scary
Oh yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. I
Barracuda.
remember, where were we? It was one of the boat days. It might have, was it Happy Beach, or I don't know. It might have been. I can't remember what beach we were at. But there weren't that many people there, and we went out, and there was a bunch of sea turtles, and we got to see all the sea turtles. It was when we were doing the uh, gosh, now I can't remember,
Is it when we did the
but
kayaking through the mangroves?
I don't remember that.
You don't remember that? I
Mm-mm.
don't know if you did that one with us. It was like
I must
Liz.
not have been there with you
That one
because I
was.
don't remember that at all. I remember going on the hike. Remember the hike that we
Oh,
went
the
on?
hike was so fun.
Oh my god, it
It was
was.
so fun. That was
It was.
behind Megan's Bay Beach, right?
Yeah, it was
And we
behind
just went
Megan's
all the way
Bay.
up to the top, and then we
Yep.
came all the way back down and pretty much ran into the ocean. We were so hot, so
Yes,
sweaty, couldn't
it
get our
was
nasty little
so
clothes
hot
off
and
fast
so
enough
humid.
to get in
Yep,
that
I
water.
remember that.
Oh,
I
did I
love
saw him
that.
last night?
That was another one of my favorite pictures. Is at the top when we got to the top. Remember, and we
Yes,
all
we
like stood
jumped.
on the fence and jumped.
Yes. Yes.
That was
I'm
so
excited for you
fun.
guys to see these pictures after it. Yeah, I just saw
Yeah.
yesterday everybody's at Megan's Bay Beach and they're having a whole picnic and they've got all the food out and it was just like, oh, it's spring and summer in the island. Like I want to be there.
Yes.
I just told my boyfriend every chance I could get. Like I'm so cold here. I can't wait till we can move to the island. Like I'm not happy here. I'm
Mhm.
selling my stuff so we can move to the island. We're moving to the
Mhm.
island and I just like keep
Did
hammering it
you
home.
did you go to Megan's Bay when you guys were there?
Oh yeah, that was the first beach that we went to because we
Nice.
had dinner at the Old Stone Farmhouse reservations.
Oh,
And I know they don't
I
do
miss
brunch
that
anymore, but we had
place.
dinner
Oh,
and it was
brunches. They
freaking
don't do
our
brunch?
no,
Did you say they don't do brunch anymore?
they don't do brunch
What?
anymore. And so, but we did get a dinner reservation. So we went to the beach first, quick before dinner. And that was my boyfriend's first time seeing the ocean ever. So it was like so
Wow.
magical. I didn't want to get in because I know it'd be all sticky and everything right before dinner and it was
Yeah.
dark. So I just sat and watched him get in and
Mm-hmm.
everything and got completely annihilated by mosquitoes and sand
Wow.
flies.
Yeah, sandflies.
Yeah, that was the first night. But then we went to Old Stone Farmhouse. We had an awesome dinner. And then the rest of the days, I took him to
Oh,
like every single other beach. And he was just
that's
like
awesome.
a kid in a candy store. It was like so special to watch and be part of. And we went through some shit on that vacation.
Yeah. Um, oh, I was gonna just say something. I don't
Remember
remember,
Benny
but
Iguana Sushi
yes! Oh my
right on the
god, that
water?
was so good. I
Hmm.
missed that place
Oh, and
too.
Buddha Sushi.
Yes, that place was so good.
I remember we
That
didn't used to go there because it used to take forever, but when Zach and I went there, it was so fast and
forever.
so delicious, so
Really?
fresh. Yeah, we
Oh,
were
I
in and
know.
out.
That stuff was so good. That's
So good.
awesome.
Yeah, we
Something
had
must have
much
changed.
different dining experiences. Yeah, something definitely changed there. I think like the
Yeah.
management, but I was surprised it was even
Mhm.
still open, honestly. And I went into
Mhm.
the Costules, and it just like so reminiscent of when we used to go to the
Oh my
Costules, get
god.
all this stuff for our
Yes.
apartments. Like,
Oh, I remember that so well.
yeah,
What about Gladys? Remember Gladys?
yeah,
The breakfast spot? Oh, I
yes,
love that place
right in the
too.
boat harbor. Yeah, that was great.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and Navy Beach. Of course, that's not there
Maybe
anymore, we know.
it's not. And yeah, I went like didn't even really go to those shops anymore because 13 isn't there anymore where it used to be.
Hmm.
And it
Hmm.
says that it's at the shops down there. So I
Oh,
kind of went down there, but I didn't even go into the shops. I didn't even like step foot
yeah.
into that like shopping center. But
Yeah.
13's no longer. I couldn't find it. I couldn't figure out where it was. It says it's
Oh.
still in operation, but it's like not up there anymore. I couldn't
Hmm.
find like
Oh
photos
my
of where it
God. Do you
was.
remember trying to get up there that one time? When
Yeah.
you went up the one way the wrong way and then
Mhm.
we couldn't turn around because the street was so narrow. Do you remember that?
Do we have to do like a 22-point turn or something?
Yes.
That was
And we
crazy.
had to
Those
ask
roads are
somebody.
crazy.
They are crazy, but remember we had to stop some guy and ask him how to get up there?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That was so
I
funny. And
didn't
did
try
we?
hard, but I couldn't find like where it was. Like we didn't
Yeah.
we moseyed around that whole island and I never passed
Yeah.
something and was like, "Oh, there's where 13 used to be." And I feel like I used to pass
Mhm.
it all the time
Oh
when I
yeah,
was
we
going up to
did.
Jesse's and
And but
stuff,
it was
but
always so hard to find when we were actually looking for it.
truly, truly.
Mhm.
It was just a shit location
And
up there. Like tourists don't go
it
up
was.
there. It was like the view was insane. The view from like the brunch spot, that's what I do remember. But I just remember they couldn't get like steady business.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No, you're fine.
Um yeah, their business was it was hard, but that made me sad because they were so good. So good.
Hmm.
Um but also, here's another really crazy memory. Uh Mermaid's chair.
Oh yeah. Oh
When
yeah.
we almost died.
Yeah. Yeah. I have that on video. And I show
I
that
do
to people.
too.
And they don't even think like that it looks so crazy like that we almost died. But
Yeah.
we learned that day Mother Nature
We
is not
it
to be
was
messed with.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We were
that
walking
that thing came up
around
so quickly.
out there, yeah, and all of a
Yeah.
sudden rogue wave came. It swept all of
Yeah.
us.
And
A
we were
couple of our
all
friends
on the
almost got
ground and
taken back off the cliff because you know the wave comes and
yes.
it's so powerful it takes everything back with
Mhm.
it. So we were grabbing onto rocks for like dear life. Some of them were
Dear
flip
life, yeah.
going upside down, drowning in water.
Yep.
Luckily, our friend Andy like had the wherewithal to just start grabbing and like pulling people
Mhm.
back. He was holding onto them with his whole might. Me in the
Yeah.
video, I'm self-preservation. I'm like diving away from it. I'm like, sorry for y'all. I'm out of here.
Yeah. Yeah,
Moving this
same. I
way.
kind of did the same thing. I was like,
Yeah.
"Whoop, I'm out."
Yeah. So that was scary. That
Somebody
was
go get
when I
Kira.
really learned that you
Kiara.
don't mess with Mama Nature. I knew that from
Right? Oh my
snowboarding,
gosh.
but that's the first time I learned that for like island life. Like she wants you to
Yeah, yeah.
know we are no
For
match for her.
real. Yeah, that was so crazy. I mean, we had such a good time up until that. And then after that, we were all like, okay, time to go home.
Right?
We all got caught up. We lost shoes. Oh
Hmm.
my gosh.
I think Kiara
We were,
scraped her whole entire body off on those
Yeah.
rocks.
Oh my God. Well, she was like under
Endless
the
too.
water too for
Hmm.
so long. Like I
Yeah,
was
that
so
was
scared
that
for
was
her.
terrifying. That was like
Yeah.
that was kind of a wake up thing for me. Like, okay, this is paradise, but like it's serious. Like you
Yeah.
gotta be on your shit
Yeah.
here.
Oh
Mhm.
hell yeah.
Driving on the
But
wrong side of the road. Everybody's drinking and driving.
oh my
Rain.
gosh, yeah.
Terrible
Do you
tires.
remember?
Terrible cars.
I remember you could go up, drive up to the bar, put your car in park, run in, get a drink. They put it in a to go cup with a straw, and you get back in your car and drive away.
Yep.
That's the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah. Truly.
So
I mean,
many
after
drunk drivers
COVID,
out
like when I
there.
did come back home, they were like serving drinks to
Mhm.
go because restaurants were like trying not to go out of business. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, this is cool. I can get like a road drink like I can in St. Thomas. But they didn't give me a straw. They didn't pop the straw in it.
No.
They had tape on
No.
it that said, wait till you get home.
Right?
They're like, you want
They
another one?
seal that
I'm
shit
like,
shut.
oh my God, for real.
To St. Thomas.
What I'll look like.
Okay, guys. Well, this has been such a fun chat, and I'm so glad we were able to get the stories out because so much of it is so fun, and the other part is just necessary, to get the story out for our patients and all the people that we miss. But we're gonna add some pictures at the end. I'm gonna try and do like a slideshow of pictures just so you guys can see all the stuff that we talked about, and hopefully you get there one day too if you haven't already been, because it's an amazing place. It's an amazing place. And we
Absolutely.
both want to move back there and like live for a while at some
Right?
point. So,
So thanks for coming down this super fun trip down memory lane with us. That is a really,
yeah.
really special island to us. So I'm sure you can see that.
Yes. And you know what? Thank you so much, Brittany, for doing this with me. This was so fun. I needed
Of
this.
course. I loved reconnecting and I was so happy to do the podcast and we'll have to do it again soon.
Yes, most definitely. All right. Well, that being said, happy travels, everyone.
Happy travels indeed.